Busted. Strike a pose. Sword. Power.
Washington decides it's time to kill the A-10 oil. They write the reports, run the numbers, and announce that a newer, faster, more expensive jet will take its place. And every single time, the A-10 survives. Not because of politics, not because of lobbying, but because of something no spreadsheet can capture.
Shower you with praise.
Something none of the
Breaking news! Smile! Annihilate. Mine to wield.
Your dues.
Quietly now. How brilliant! Hard-hitting exclusive! Power.
Was a supersonic interceptor. They needed something that could fly low, fly slow, and kill tanks, lots of tanks, while absorbing everything they had. The Vietnam War had already taught them a brutal lesson. Supersonic jets like the F-4 Phantom flew too fast to spot camouflaged targets in the dense jungle. Pilots would scream over the target zone 500 knots and be gone before they could distinguish a supply truck from a troop. Friendly fire incidents were devastating. Accuracy was poor. The military needed the opposite of fast. It needed a pilot who could look a battlefield in the eye. The solution that emerged from Fairchild Republic in 1973 looked like nothing else in the sky. Twin engines mounted high on the fuselage, twin-tail trim, straight wings, and a cockpit positioned so far forward the pilots sat almost on top of the nose gear. It was, by any conventional standard, ugly, and it was perfect. To understand the A-10, you have to start with the weapon it was literally built around. The GAU-8/A Avenger is a 7-barrel 30mm Gatling cannon that fires depleted uranium rounds at a rate of 3,900 rounds per minute. 65 rounds every single second. The entire airframe is engineered outward from this gun. Engineers didn't put the cannon into a jet. They built a jet around a cannon. The numbers are almost absurd. The recoil force approaches 10,000 pounds, so are powerful enough to noticeably slow the aircraft during sustained bursts. The sound it produces, that low, tearing growl that soldiers describe as a chainsaw ripping through the sky, travels faster than the rounds themselves, meaning by the time you hear the A-10, the shells have already hit. The ammunition it fires is made from depleted uranium, a material with a behavior unlike any conventional metal. On impact, depleted uranium doesn't mushroom or flatten. It self-sharpens, drilling deeper into armor as it penetrates. Then it ignites, in contact with air, torching everything inside the vehicle: fuel, ammunition, crew. In testing, the GAU-8 proved capable of disabling older Soviet tanks from a favorable
All
angle.
things come to an end.
No other aircraft can
Even time itself.
as close. A-10's designers understood one thing above all else. In close air support, the mission doesn't end when the aircraft gets hit. It ends when the pilot gets home. So they built a plane that could take punishment, that would destroy anything else in the inventory and keep flying. The cockpit sits inside a titanium bathtub, armored plates between 1/2 inch and 1.5 inches thick, configured to deflect rounds from the angles that are most likely to come from it. It can absorb direct hits from 23mm cannon fire. Any surface that faces the pilot is lined with nylon shielding to stop fragmentation from reaching him, even if the outer armor is compromised. Beyond the cockpit, the redundancy is almost paranoid in its thoroughness. 2 independent hydraulic systems control the flight surfaces, backed by a full manual cable and pulley system that gives the pilot control even if both hydraulics fail completely. Designed to remain flyable even with severe damage to control surfaces. The engines are mounted separately so a single hit can't take both out simultaneously. The fuel tanks are self-sealing, centrally located, and surrounded by articulated foam to prevent vapor explosions. If every main tank is destroyed, 2 emergency sump tanks still carry enough fuel for 230 miles, enough to reach friendly territory. In 2003, Captain Kim Campbell's A-10 was shredded by anti-aircraft fire over Baghdad. She lost hydraulics, she lost an engine. By every conventional measure, the aircraft should have become a smoking crater. Instead, Campbell switched to manual reversion, flew the crippled jet back to base on a single engine and cable controls and manuals. Maintenance crews patched it up and it flew again within days. This isn't an isolated story, it's a pattern. And that pattern is why infantry commanders keep demanding high-speed, high-altitude KS changes the pilot's relationship to the battlefield entirely. A pilot doing 500 knots at 15,000 feet is processing a battlefield through sensors and screens. He is not seeing it with his eyes. The A-10 pilot at 300 knots and 1,000 feet is in a different relationship with the ground entirely. He can see the color of vehicles. He can distinguish between a military convoy and a civilian truck. He can watch a firefight develop in real time, identifying the exact An A-10 can neutralize a target with a few $100 worth of shells. The same mission in an F-45 required a $500,000 missile. When the target is a pickup truck with a machine gun on the back, the math becomes impossible to justify. There is something in the story of the A-10 that no acquisition report captures. When ground forces hear that distinctive engine whine overhead, something happens that goes beyond tactics. Lieutenant Colonel J.R. Sanderson of Task Force 269 described it plainly after the Battle of Baghdad in 2003. You could hear the roar of screams of joy when the air liaison officer would come over the radio and say, "I've got 10S." That reaction, the screams of joy, is not a coincidence. It's the product of decades of combat experience in which soldiers learned through the hardest possible education that the A-10 would show up in conditions that grounded every other aircraft. It would fly under 1,000-foot cloud ceilings and sandstorms, in visibility down to 1.5 miles, in anti-aircraft environments so dense that faster jets had already turned back. memang sudah sangat meresahkan bagi banyak orang. Tidak hanya merugikan, aksi mereka tergolong sangat nekat dan tidak manusiawi.
Big Sis Yoimiya!
Bagaimana tidak, para pelakunya bahkan tega menjamret mulai dari anak-anak hingga yang sudah lanjut usia. Sehingga rasanya wajar saja ketika mereka tertangkap sering sekali menjadi bulan-bulanan warga yang sangat kesal melihat tingkah laku mereka.
Hey there, I know. I came as soon as I got your letter. So how's it going? Is it done?
Saat berada di pinggir jalan.
You bet. I finished your order right away. Inapa, help me verify the order.
Aktifkan juga lonceng notifikasi
Affirmative.
channel ini.
Retrieving order data. Client Big Sis Yoimiya ordered a custom-made companion gift for children. Order complete. Remarks. To be traded for tricolor dangle recipe, launch tube, kite, spinning top, and tamari. Order verification complete.
Everything's right here. Check it out. Satisfaction guaranteed. Let me see. Whoa!
Ini berusaha melakukan
This is
penjamretan dengan menarik
pot of
kalung yang
fish.
digunakan si wanita.
Yep. I call it the wibbly wobbly fishy pot. Look, fish can even wiggle back and forth. Don't they look like they're really swimming in water? Now you won't have to worry about Matsuzaka and the others not being able to keep fish alive. They don't even need to change the water. What do you think? What do you think? Do you like it? Wow, wow! Fish landed in a flower pot? That's awesome!
Karena merasa cemas, si
I
pelaku
know.
yang terjatuh
How did you
justru
come up with
memilih
something this
meninggalkan
cool?
motornya dan melarikan diri.
Matsuzaka, Iwao, and Saika are going to be so excited! I'll say thanks for them
Merasa
first.
curiga, tentu tidak mau kehilangan jejak si
Of
pelaku.
course!
Langsung
As long as
mengejarnya.
there's sweet stuff involved,
Terlihat
framework
ada
is
5 hingga
easy
6
peasy
orang
for
langsung
me.
mengejar si pelaku.
You like it too? I
Dengan
made
saja
lots because
tidak
I
ada
had enough
kesalahan, pelaku
materials.
jambret
You
ini
can
pun
have this one.
akhirnya bisa ditangkap warga dengan mudah. Terbayang bagaimana bentuk wajah pelaku ketika ia tertangkap oleh warga. Selain bengkak-bengkak, pelaku
No
pasti
need, no
akan
need.
mendapatkan
Big
kejutan
Sis
dan
Yoimiya
merasakan
gave me
sensasi
lots of
berbeda
gifts,
dari warga
and she
sekitar
even made
yang
me
memang
so
sudah
many
merindukan
toys that I've never
momen-momen
seen
indah
before.
seperti ini.
I don't quite get how to play with a spinning top, though. Could you teach me one more time, Big Sis Yoimiya?
Inilah
No
aksi heroik
problem at
pengejaran
all.
terhadap seorang
I
pelaku
even made
jambret
it special.
sebuah tas.
I know only
Pelaku yang
top
sudah
spring
merasa
just
terpojok
for
mencoba
you.
mengalihkan orang yang mengejar dengan menjatuhkan tas
Here,
curiannya.
take it. And let's have a spin-off and see whose top can spin longer
Namun
and
tidak berhenti
faster.
sampai di sini saja, pelaku
Yay!
terus saja
This has
dikejar
gotta help
hingga ke
Napa
wujud
make
dunia.
crumb
Pelaku
cake.
yang merasa cemas
And the
semakin
winner may
menggeber
continue
motor dan
operating the spinning top
meliuk-liuk di jalan
while
raya.
awaiting the completion of aforementioned crumpake.
Yeah, exactly. Hurry up, Big Sis. I practiced a whole bunch yesterday. Oh,
Sial, ia malah
trying to
terjatuh
beat
setelah
me?
menyenggol salah
Not
satu motor
100
yang
years.
berpapasan. Tanpa menunggu waktu yang lama, pelaku ini pada akhirnya berhasil diamankan dan diserahkan ke pihak kepolisian. Namun sudah pasti sebelum diserahkan secara utuh ke polisi, pelaku ini terlebih dulu mendapat sengatan dan wejangan berharga dari warga sekitar. Ada juga aksi jambret yang
I
lucu
performed
seperti
this
ini.
trial yesterday,
Bukannya kabur dengan
following
motor,
precise
mereka malah
calculation of the
melepaskan
force,
motornya dan
angle, and
terlihat
time
bingung
necessary
harus
to
melarikan
initiate
diri
the
ke
spinning
arah mana.
operation. I have concluded, so long as I apply sustained force, the spinning top will continue rotating indefinitely.
Setelah mencoba kabur, pelaku ini malah balik lagi karena hampir di setiap sudut orang-orang sudah siap menghadangnya. Bahkan ada satu orang yang sudah menyiapkan skop untuk membantungkan pelaku ini.
Affirmative.
Kedua
My
pelaku
spinning
ini
top
berhasil
ceased
bertekuk
rotation
lutut
only when
dan
Aino and
ditahan
Miss
setelah
Yoimiya fell
tertangkap
asleep
oleh
on the
warga
sofa,
yang mengejarnya.
and I proceeded to cover them with a
Memang
blanket.
sangat butuh sekali
Since
kekompakan
then,
warga
I have
untuk
assessed that I
menggagalkan
remain
dan
best
juga
utilized
menangkap
performing
orang-orang
my
seperti
designated
ini.
functions, making crumcake, and reminding Aino and Miss Yoimiya
Video
to
ini
eat.
menjadi salah satu
With
video
that said,
yang membuat kami
Aino's emotional
benar-benar
state
menjadi
has taken a
perhatian kepada
significant
pelaku
positive
jambret.
shift following
Bayangkan
Miss
saja
Yoimiya's
seorang
arrival.
pria lagi usia 2
Inference.
SD keliling
She has
untuk
established a new friendship. This is most favorable.
Tas yang berisi HP dan juga uang hasil tabungannya selama berbulan-bulan untuk pulang kampung harus hilang dijamret oleh pelaku. Bahkan rasanya tidak tega sekali ketika mendengar suara si bapak yang agak biru pada video ini. Ada juga seorang nenek
Just
berusia
you watch.
104 tahun
I'm not
yang
gonna
mereka
launch it into the
jambret
air
di depan
again.
rumahnya.
It's all right,
Melihat
I know.
video ini,
No matter
sebaiknya
how
Anda
far your
lebih
top flies,
berhati-hati
I will always
ketika
be there to
melihat
catch
ada
it.
orang asing mendekati
Also,
Anda.
would you like me to perform a polishing procedure on your spinning top? The impact
Jika
marks are
biasanya mereka
significant and
beraksi
could
di
interfere
pinggir
with
jalan
force
raya,
application.
sekarang para pelaku jambret
Whoa!
justru sering beraksi sampai
Vanessa,
masuk ke
you're
gang-gang kecil
amazing!
dan jalan-jalan perumahan
Top even
warga.
after it went flying!
This is just a
Target
minor
para pelaku
task.
jambret ini
If
juga
Aino
sudah
requires
benar-benar
more
acak.
assistance,
Mulai
I
dari
can
remaja,
also
orang
retrieve
tua,
the kite
hingga
at the top of the
anak-anak yang
workshop
sedang bermain
and
di depan
recover the
rumah
tamari
mereka
stolen
sendiri.
by small animals.
Coba kita lihat pada beberapa
Who would
video
have
ini.
thought? Looks like toys from Inazuma are a hit here and not cry too.
Video ini juga memberikan pelajaran bagi kita semua yang memiliki anak, adik, keponakan, atau keluarga agar tidak main handphone di luar rumah. Karena sudah banyak sekali aksi jambret seperti pada video ini. Pelaku biasanya berpura-pura menanyakan alamat kepada si anak. Ketika si anak mulai lengah, disinilah pelaku langsung melancarkan aksinya.
So, the wires go
Ketika sedang
here,
bermain handphone,
then
anak-anak
there,
kebanyakan tidak
then
fokus
here,
lagi dengan
and
area sekitar.
then...
Hal inilah
Ta-da!
yang sering dimanfaatkan oleh para
See?
pelaku
Super
jambret.
easy peasy, right?
Salah satu
Why on
kejadiannya
earth am I
seperti
here
yang
at this
Anda lihat pada
class?
video ini.
Where's Flint? We agreed to come together. Right. I understand. I've gotten written down. All of it.
Writing it down won't do any good. Last time you said you had it memorized, but today you showed up and forgot everything again. Enough. Confiscate his notebook. You're writing it down
Tidak
from
semua
memory
anak-anak
now.
hanya diam saja.
What?
Karena
Wait,
pada
let me
video
take one
ini
more look.
Kita akan melihat seorang anak yang pemberani dan mentalnya luar biasa sekali. Selain berhasil menggagalkan pelaku jambret, karena
You have
keberaniannya
taken
inilah
multiple
pelaku
looks,
pun
but
berhasil
every look is
ditangkap
directed
warga.
somewhere different. I presume that you are attempting to find methods to evade the lesson. Such efforts are futile. All such methods have been rendered ineffective.
But I haven't even said anything.
Your eyes indicate your intent clearly, Mr. Itlua. For instance,
Tidak terima
you
handphonenya
placed a
diambil
partially
ketika
finished
sedang asik
krumkake in our
mabar, si
workshop
anak
stove ahead of
langsung
time.
refleks mengejar pelaku.
I hypothesized
Pelaku
that
yang
your
baru
plan was
saja
to
naik
secretly
motor
take it out
berhasil
during the
dia tarik
practical
hingga
class to draw
terjungkal
Aino's
otak
attention.
banting. Mendengar ada kehebohan ini, warga
However,
sekitar langsung
I
keluar
have
dan
already
menangkap
removed
si
that
pelaku.
krumkake. It can be reheated for consumption after class.
How on earth did you
Rekaman
find out?
CCTV kita kali ini. Hal ini penting untuk
Mr.
mengingatkan
Flint
kita
has
semua
already
agar
executed
lebih
this method
hati-hati.
once.
Perhatikan seorang
What?
pria yang baru saja
Flint's told me
turun
he
dari
hid his
mobil.
krumkake in the
Tidak
cabinet.
disangka ada dua orang
How come he
pelaku
hid it in the
jambret
stove,
yang melintas
too?
langsung menarik tasnya.
Also, you were carrying a bag of crushed small fish, Mr. Itlua. I believe that was an attempt to lure stray cats along the roadside as you walked. You would put the bag under your feet, the kittens would gather around you. Afterwards, you would pick one up and exclaim,
Sekali lagi, ingatlah, sebaiknya
What a cute
jika
kitten.
memang tidak terlalu penting,
Upon which
tidak
Aino's
sekali
attention would be
memainkan
drawn
atau
accordingly.
memegang handphone saat berada di pinggir
Unfortunately,
jalan.
Mr.
Karena
Flint has
pelaku
also
jambret
tried
tidak
this
bisa
method before.
diprediksi keberadaannya.
Impossible.
Bahkan pada saat
All
Anda
small
sedang berada
animals are
di atas
afraid of
motor,
Flint.
seperti
They
dua
wouldn't dare to get
video
close
ini.
to him. How in the world?
While he did not lure the small
Untuk
animals
menghindari
here
hal ini
himself,
terjadi pada Anda,
he
hal
taught this
yang paling
method to
mungkin kita
Aino.
lakukan adalah meningkatkan kewaspadaan diri
Subsequently,
sendiri.
Aino utilized this method to play with the small animals for an entire afternoon. The lesson for that day had to be canceled. This time, however, I have already fed all the small animals present in the area.
Sama dengan kejadian
Therefore,
pada video
this method
ini.
will also be
Meski aksi
ineffective.
mereka gagal karena
What do you mean
handphonenya
you fed
terjatuh,
all the
tapi
animals around
pelaku
here?
jambret ini
Even the
sudah
deer and
tergolong
birds?
sangat nekat.
Affirmative. In order to preserve the learning environment, I have already fed all the small animals located within the vicinity. Every
Perhatikan dua
individual
orang
has been
jambret yang
attended
baru
to.
saja beraksi.
As such, please start writing down the circuit diagram we just covered.
Mr. Itlua.
I
Mendengar ada
apologize for
teriakan
intruding
jambret,
upon your
warga
studies.
langsung bergerak mengejar pelaku ini.
Greetings to
Pelaku
you
yang
all,
terjebak
Miss
saat
Ino,
dikejar oleh
Miss
warga,
Inefa,
jadi
Mr.
pasrah
Traveler,
begitu saja.
Paimon.
Pada akhirnya, warga berhasil menangkap si jambret ini.
He's here! The truant is here!
It is with great regret that I find myself
Ada
unable
juga
to
jambret
attend your
yang terjatuh
enlightening
saat
lectures.
dikejar warga.
However, a matter of absolute urgency necessitates both my own departure and Mr. Itlua's temporary withdrawal from this gathering.
The same non-negotiable reason has again been invoked. A matter of
Saking
absolute
kesalnya
urgency
melihat
by
pelaku,
order of
perhatikan
headquarters.
bagaimana aksi seorang emak-emak
Such
ini.
is life, full of non-negotiable frustrations.
Bagaimana pendapat Anda? Tinggalkan komentar, klik like, dan share video ini. Terima kasih.
Indeed, that is why we term them so. For they have a frustrating habit of arriving at the most inopportune of moments, catching us quite off guard. Now, young master, let us be on our way.
Detektif pedagang nasi goreng di Brebes dirampok saat tutup lapak. Nasib sial dialami pedagang nasi goreng di Brebes, Jawa Tengah. Perampok dengan senjata tajam membawa uang hasil jualan.
Mr. Flint's, none of those tricks you mentioned earlier worked.
Mengacungkan senjata tajam tersebut viral di media sosial.
I'm very sorry to hear that.
Melakukan penyelidikan terkait kasus
I'll make sure to share some new ones with you next
time.
time. Just a pity that after what just happened, another one of my best ones is now off the table for the foreseeable future.
Save me.
Olá a todos! Nas ruas do Brasil, hoje começa uma competição de foto emocionante. Velocidade, habilidade e coragem vão aparecer a cada momento. Não perca nenhum segundo dessa batalha.
Ad Astra. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward. Take it easy.
Será que ele vai escapar do olhar de água da polícia? Para acelerar do jeito, deu até a vontade de gritar. Não é de titânio, não.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild.
Agora o cara tá voando, como se não existisse amanhã, ou se tivesse uma pizza grátis esperando no fim da rua. Mas os policiais estão colados nele, mais grudados, chiclete pelo esgoto. Cada vez que a moto passava no ponto da rua, o cara pulava igual um porquinho porquinho, dava até a vontade de mandar um almofadão anti-hemorroida pra ele. Só espera que o pobre não tenha saído de lá com vida. Chegou um grande final. A queda foi estilo filme Terminator. O cara tá lá, deitado, provavelmente esperando aplausos da galera em vez de chamar a ambulância. E aí, quanto vocês estão nessa queda? 10 ou 20 pontos. Solta aí nos comentários.
Navigating the world is a whole lot easier with a few different identities to choose
O
from.
cara tá estirado
Need
no
me
chão,
to come up with some for you?
sem dúvida de quem curte brincar de pega-pega com a polícia. O policial tranquilo garante que ele não vai a lugar nenhum. A moto tombada de lado, parecendo
This realm is truly
Fim de mais um episódio de Aposte Sua Sorte com a Polícia. Nosso camarada ganha uma passagem só de ida para a delegacia, com os motivos extras para pagar tudo, porque a moto tinha um chassi mexido e era roubada.
If you ever have any...
Parecia de boa, até que surge o piloto freestyle, ativando o modo YOLO. O escapamento grita, como se estivesse num rap battle com destino. E a câmera do policial, CV, Alessandro, só fala: ok, bro, bora caçar. O cara afunda o sinal vermelho como se fosse uma opção premium, não uma lei. A velocidade está no máximo, mas o QI ainda dá